Hi, Patrick with Patrick Henry's Red Hill with another book recommendation available from the Museum and Gift Shop of Red Hill. I'll tell you how to order this book at the end of this video. This particular book focuses on a portion of Patrick Henry's life that sometimes is overlooked. People are often very curious about it when they visit Red Hill, but the author of this book was intimately acquainted with Red Hill and actually served in an executive position with the Patrick Henry Memorial Foundation back in the 1980s. And of course, I'm referring to Mr. Patrick Daly. Mr. Daly wrote a book called Patrick Henry, The Last Years, and it focuses on the years of 1789 up to Patrick Henry's death in 1799. Now, this is a portion of Patrick Henry's life that often is overlooked. We tend to focus, when we think of Patrick Henry, we tend to focus on his role in the American Revolution, obviously, and prior to the American Revolution. Sometimes people get this misunderstanding that towards the end of Patrick's life, he just kind of retired and went into obscurity and moved to this place called Red Hill, which is in the middle of nowhere. All right. Well, if you read Mr. Daly's book, Patrick Henry, The Last Years, you'll get a better understanding of the final decade of Patrick Henry's life. It was not one of idleness. It was not one where he just lounged around and did nothing. He was very active. He was rebuilding his legal practice during his public life. He was often called away from his legal practice, and he wanted to fulfill a goal that he had established for himself, to die without debt and to be able to provide land and or cash to all of his surviving children at the time of his death. And it took a lot of hard work. As I said, he had to rebuild his legal practice. And there was a lot of land buying and selling, but ultimately he was able to do that. He was also still involved politically during much of this time period as well. This book talks about his involvement going prior to 1789, which it says it kind of starts. It goes into his involvement in 1787 and 1788, particularly with the arguments against ratification of the United States Constitution. All right, and so he felt that he was that they were opening up the door for a central government that would be too strong, and he insisted that a Bill of Rights be attached to the United States Constitution. So this gets into his involvement in those arguments, and it also gets involved in, or it tells about his involvement in probably what was his largest or most influential legal case, the British debts case. The Last Years is a great resource for people who want to learn more about the end of Patrick Henry's life and all that he was still doing, his involvement in politics, his involvement with his family, his involvement with his legal practice, and ultimately re-entering politics at the very end of his life as well. This book has something that I really enjoy and really find beneficial, and I look for it in all Patrick Henry books, and it's endnotes. I like references. I want to know where people found information, and Mr. Daly does an excellent job telling his sources and sharing his resources, letting us know where he found the facts. So Patrick Henry, The Last Years, another excellent resource from Patrick Henry's Red Hill. And this is available by email. If you contact them, you can contact info@redhill.org, or you can pick up the phone. You can dial 1-800-514-7463. Ask for Patrick Daly's book, Patrick Henry, The Last Years. Another excellent resource from Patrick Henry's Red Hill. Thank you.